Congratulations on the award. That has to have been a very exciting achievement for you and for what you do in Baltimore.
Yeah, it really was, because I think I said to you before, I really admire so many of these big, powerful programs that have, maybe hundreds of kids involved. And, you know, so for us to get that, it was a validation of the fact that we're really intense and high quality. And we're not going to lose that no matter how much, we have a desire to grow, and we are going to grow for sure. But the more, when you work with inner city kids, the needs are endless. And so the minute you start to get into their lives, you realize you could give them almost everything. And it isn't just nutrition and fitness and swimming lessons and carpools and just support. Some of these kids, they've never done push-ups. They come out of the inner city and they haven't climbed trees, that's for sure, let alone been on teams. So they have to learn like movement for the first time. I mean, we've got a steep learning curve just on doing dry land drills, and it's a big deal for them. I mean, the erg is, fabulous. It's a fascination. Only a little later do they get to hate it.
Judd, what is it that you're trying to achieve in your program? You talked before about Baltimore and how unique it is with the individual neighborhoods. What are you trying to achieve with your program?
Well, my wife Evie and I have both come out of competitive sports, and when we came into rowing, I was fascinated by what a real game changer it can be in a kid's life. And I know sports are game changers for sure, because kids are really motivated by sports, but now we realize that rowing is such a gateway to opportunities and expanded horizons, more so I think than other sports, not to put them down. But for some reason, there's this whole, community that you develop, and then, the incredible teamwork that's required, and the discipline. We've found that I thought I was going to start this rowing program with homework assistance and a lot of academic support, and we discovered that the rowing itself instilled discipline and commitment and follow through and goal setting, all these things that if we can simply ignite motivation inside a kid, we don't have to throw lots of money at him like they do in the inner city. You're throwing programs, you're trying to somehow raise a kid up out of poverty. You surround him with a really a strong, high-achieving culture, and all of a sudden they're incredibly motivated to do well in life. And so that's what we're all about.
You had a pretty difficult time this spring in Baltimore. It was very tense, and you were in the national spotlight, but you handled it in a way which said, we have a job to do, we're going to do it. You talk just a little bit about that and what it was to be in the middle of what that was, doing what you were doing.
Well, yeah, my first reaction was sort of like when these riots broke out, it's like, oh my goodness, we got rowing practice. We have to get these kids to practice somehow. And I wasn't even really thinking about the city. I was like, oh crap, why is this happening? And so, but as it turned out, I was just so delighted when I made phone calls and emails to everybody that, nobody wanted to stop practice. And everybody knew they could get to practice by getting around the hot spots, the pockets of, uproar and violence and all that. And they were going to get there. So, and with the regatta coming in 6 days, I called all the 15, 17 coaches and programs. So it was a very self-serving response, for sure. But it was also like a moment in time and an opportunity. And it just gave us almost a chance to really rise to the occasion.